WhatsApp is the most popular messaging app in the world, used by over 1 billion people. With the global population somewhere just north of 7.5 billion, that means statistically 1 in 5 humans on this planet have it downloaded. Coming up on 11 years old, WhatsApp made regional restrictions for text messages a thing of the past. Once WhatsApp came along, everyone with a data or internet connection could be in the same inbox. You didn't need to email your friends abroad or use Skype or Facebook to send messages to people while you were on vacation and out of the country. One app that at the start had more features than any default service. Better than SMS on Android or iMessage for iPhones, and it bridged the gap between them. Yes, and a special section for my fellow North Americans. Unlimited texting has traditionally only been an American standard, and elsewhere in the world, plans had a monthly SMS allotment that most people had to worry about going over. Similarly, while the international aspect may not seem like that much of a boon because the US and Canada are pretty beefy boys when it comes to land mass, imagine being unable to send a text to someone in the next state or province, the equivalent of European or Central American countries. Sorry, Kansas, I'm on the Nebraska only plan. Apologies, Alberta, I can only send Saskatoon SMSs. History lesson aside, let's slide back into here and now. If you're still on a default messaging service, you should be using WhatsApp for a couple reasons. 1, everybody and their cousin is. If you're still trading regular, no red receipt, featureless SMS messages on Android, or gagging over your gross green text iMessage contacts unworthy of the Steve Jobs standard, WhatsApp is an across-the-board improvement that you don't have to feel weird about. 1.5 billion people. It's not a fringe platform for hipstery kombucha conversations. You won't have to explain it. Everyone's already heard of it by now. 2, it's equal to or better than what you're using. iMessage has stepped up its game, so if you and your friends are already frolicking in the apple orchard, WhatsApp may not be as much of a boon to you as others. From a feature standpoint, the two are rather equivalent. But anybody with an Android device, or who knows someone with an Android device, 90% of the mobile phone market, will have an immediate improvement. Group chats, voice and video calls, even group voice and video, basic stickers, GIFs, photos, files. You can mirror your phone to a desktop or web version. It does what you need with some extra bells and whistles. They even have a story feature called statuses, which work like the Snapchat or Instagram equivalents if that's your thing. Now, that might be all you needed to hear. You're firing up the Play Store or App Store, it's already downloading. You're well on your way to a new era of communication. But before you go any further, there may be a couple things that you want to know first. Facebook owns WhatsApp. Personally, I've been trying to limit the amount that I hand over to our data aggregating overlords, Google, Facebook, Amazon. Perhaps it's a fruitless endeavor and I should just throw a Skynet chip in my spinal cord already, but it is getting a little scary how omnipresent these monoliths are becoming. Facebook, if you haven't been under a rock, has a pretty bad track record with user data and privacy, not to mention all the fake news stories and general tomfoolery that they've allowed to take place right under their noses. Ads are coming to WhatsApp's status feature in 2020, so enjoy one more place where you have to have consumerism piped into your optic nerve. Famously, Facebook is not the product, you are, which gives me pause thinking about what plans El Zuccarino has to one day monetize my conversations. WhatsApp rarely updates. As of late, Apple has done more with iMessage than WhatsApp has done for itself, which is pretty surprising, seeing as Apple has never been one to get to the party early. Greater file and video upload sizes, dark modes, theme options, usernames. There are plenty of easy boosts WhatsApp could add, but haven't gotten around to. Security concerns. I know. I don't always mean to go Edward Snowden on you in these videos, but there is a certain point at which I have to make mention of these things. WhatsApp uses end-to-end encryption everywhere in all its chats. However, its backups are not encrypted, stored via iCloud or Google Drive. This means that even if you opt out of backing your chat history up, or do everything to protect yourself, strong passwords, two-factor authentication, there's no way of knowing whether the people you chat with are keeping your side of the story equally safe. WhatsApp uses your phone number as your display name in group chats, which is problematic as well. There is no way to hide it, which means you will have to be comfortable with any person you chat with having access to that information. There is no way to create a username or display name that replaces the phone number. You are also only searchable by your phone number, so that's the only way for anyone to get in contact with you. Just recently, news broke regarding activists and journalists being targeted through WhatsApp, thanks to a security vulnerability that allowed spyware to completely hijack their devices automatically. With other news that the US and UK are looking to break end-to-end encryption in certain apps, specifically WhatsApp, it's concerning. If you are one of the handful, let's be honest, of people who've watched the other content on this channel, you'll know that I'm no WhatsApp cheerleader. I think there are messengers out there that do everything WhatsApp does, but better and more securely, all with smaller budgets and fewer resources. There are no excuses for that, in my opinion. But it works. It does. 1.5 billion people can't be completely wrong, and while it's bewildering to see non-update after non-update from WhatsApp with little more than bug fixes and minor UI tweaks, most people can't be bothered to go elsewhere. It's human nature.